1951, the year the Toyota Land Cruiser first drove across terrain that was considered impassable. The year Japan decided that the world needed a vehicle that combined absolute off-road capability with the refinement and reliability that only Japanese engineering discipline could deliver. That vehicle has been continuously developed, continuously refined, and continuously improved for 75 years. And in 2026, the most sophisticated version of that 75-year engineering evolution sits behind me. Welcome back to UC Car Review. Today we are doing something this channel has never done before. We are giving Japan's most important luxury SUV the American audience review it has never received. The 2026 Lexus LX700h hybrid costs $120,000. It has a samurai-inspired exterior designed in Japan, a VIP rear cabin that competes with Rolls Royce, an off-road system that goes places Land Rover engineers respect, and a hybrid powertrain that delivers fuel economy numbers that seem impossible from a full-size luxury SUV of this capability. Germany gets the headlines. America gets the marketing. Japan gets the engineering right. Today, we prove it. Lexus's chief designer Koichi Suga spent 4 years studying the visual language of traditional Japanese samurai armor before beginning the exterior design of the 2026 LX700h. This is not a metaphor used in a press release. It is a literal description of his research process. 4 years studying the geometric patterns, the angular surface transitions, and the deliberate visual aggression of feudal Japanese defensive armor. The result is an exterior design language that Lexus calls takumi, the Japanese word for artisan or master craftsman. Every surface transition on the LX700h exterior is angular rather than curved, not softly flowing like European luxury SUV design, but deliberately sharp, deliberately geometric, deliberately aggressive. The body lines do not suggest movement. They suggest readiness. Like a samurai at rest, completely composed, completely controlled, and capable of instant decisive action. The spindle grille, Lexus's signature design element, present on every model since 2012, reaches its largest and most dramatic expression on the LX700h. From the base of the hood to the lower front bumper, the grille spans nearly the full height of the front face. The three-dimensional mesh pattern inside the grille frame creates depth and shadow that changes character completely with different light sources and viewing angles. At night, illuminated by the triple-beam LED headlights, the spindle grille appears to glow from within. The sonic titanium paint interacts with the angular body lines in a way that Lexus's color engineers specifically designed for. The titanium base coat with its blue metallic undertone produces different color readings on angled surfaces versus flat surfaces. The shoulder lines appear lighter than the door panels. The hood appears lighter than the fenders, creating a visual complexity that makes the exterior appear to have more surfaces than it physically has. This is Japanese engineering philosophy applied to aesthetic design. Achieve more with less. The 2026 Lexus LX700h is available in 2 configurations, the standard 7-seat version and the 4-seat executive version that I am sitting in right now. And the executive version is where the LX700h's true ambition reveals itself completely. Because Lexus did not simply remove the middle row and add more legroom. Lexus removed the middle row and built a completely different vehicle in the rear half of this SUV. The 2 rear captain's chairs in the executive configuration are individually the largest, most heavily appointed seats available in any production SUV at this price point. Each seat measures 23 inches wide, wider than the front seats. Each seat is 22-way power adjustable, forward, backward, height, tilt, backrest angle, lumbar in 4 directions, side bolster width, headrest height, and headrest forward tilt. Each seat has its own ottoman footrest that extends from the front seat back, heated and ventilated in 3 zones independently, and a massage system with 8 programs. The semi-aniline leather covering these seats, and every other surface in the executive rear cabin, is sourced from a specific tannery in Japan that has supplied Lexus exclusively since the first LX was produced. Semi-aniline leather retains the natural grain of the hide, while receiving a light protective coating that allows color stability without eliminating the tactile quality of natural leather. Running your hand across this leather feels fundamentally different from the coated leather in most European luxury vehicles. It feels alive in a way that full aniline leather does without the vulnerability to staining. The center console between the two rear seats contains a refrigerated compartment, a Lexus crystal glass set in a dedicated storage position, individual climate controls for each passenger, individual audio controls, and a touch panel that controls every function available to rear passengers. The Japanese origami stitch pattern on each headrest, a motif drawn directly from traditional paper folding art, contains 847 individual stitches placed by a Lexus craftsperson in Toyota City. Japan put its most celebrated traditional art form on a headrest in a $120,000 SUV, and it is magnificent. There is a principle in Japanese aesthetics called monozukuri, which translates roughly as the art of making things. But the translation misses the depth of the concept. Monozukuri is not just manufacturing. It is the philosophical conviction that every object made by human hands deserves to be made with complete sincerity, complete skill, and complete respect for the materials being used. This principle governs how Lexus approaches every surface inside the LX700h. The semi-aniline leather throughout this interior is processed through a 12-stage preparation before it reaches the cutting tables at Lexus's interior facility. Each stage, washing, conditioning, drying, grading, cutting, is performed by hand with inspection after every stage. Hides that do not meet Lexus's surface quality standards at any stage are rejected. The rejection rate is approximately 30% of sourced hides, meaning Lexus accepts only 70% of the leather they purchase. The cost of this process is significant. The result is leather that is visually and tactually exceptional in a way that competing products produced through faster, less selective processes simply cannot match. The wood trim throughout the executive interior, genuine open-pore Shimomoku wood with a horizontal grain pattern, is sourced from managed forests in Japan and processed at a single facility that has produced Lexus wood trim since 1989. The open-pore finish, no lacquer coating over the wood surface, allows the grain to be touched directly, to feel like wood rather than a wood-patterned synthetic. Over time, open-pore wood develops a patina that responds to its environment and its owner. In 20 years, the wood in this interior will look different from every other LX700h, specific to its owner's use and specific to its environment. Japanese monozukuri does not make objects that stay the same. It makes objects that improve with time. The 2026 Lexus LX700h carries the engineering heritage of the Toyota Land Cruiser, the most proven off-road platform in automotive history, used by the United Nations, the Red Cross, and military organizations in 170 countries, specifically because it goes places other vehicles cannot and continues operating in conditions that defeat everything else. That heritage does not appear in the LX700h's marketing materials because Lexus sells luxury, not military specification. But it is present in every off-road system under this vehicle. The Lexus Crawl Control System is the most sophisticated automatic low-speed off-road management system available in any production luxury SUV. The driver sets a target speed, between 1 and 5 miles per hour depending on terrain severity, and Crawl Control manages throttle and individual wheel braking to maintain that speed regardless of gradient, surface, or obstacle. The driver steers. The system manages everything else. On a rocky descent that required my full concentration to navigate at 2 miles per hour, Crawl Control maintained 1.5 miles per hour with the precision of a machinist's instrument. The multi-terrain select system offers 6 distinct surface configurations: auto, dirt, sand, mud, rock, and snow. Each mode adjusts the throttle response, the all-wheel drive torque split, the traction control intervention threshold, and the stability control parameters simultaneously. In rock mode on the test terrain, broken shale on a 40-degree descent. The LX700h's independent front suspension allowed opposite front wheels to travel in opposite vertical directions simultaneously, maintaining contact with the rock surface on both sides while the body remained level. This is capability that the Range Rover Sport commands twice the price to provide. The LX700h delivers it at $120,000. Japan has been engineering this for 75 years. It shows. The 2026 Lexus LX700h uses a twin-turbocharged 3.5-liter V6 engine combined with 2 electric motors in Toyota's most advanced PHEV-adjacent hybrid architecture. And the fuel economy numbers this system produces from a full-size luxury SUV weighing 59 pounds are the most surprising specification in any vehicle I have reviewed this year. EPA rating, 21 miles per gallon combined. For context, the standard Toyota Land Cruiser on which the LX platform is based returns 16 miles per gallon combined. The Mercedes GLS 580, the LX700H's most direct competitor, returns 17 miles per gallon combined. The Range Rover Sport Vate returns 16 miles per gallon combined. The LX700H delivers 21 miles per gallon, 31% better than the Mercedes, 31% better than the Range Rover, and 31% better than its own non-hybrid platform equivalent, from a vehicle that has just demonstrated genuine off-road capability on Rocky Mountain terrain. During my 7-day real-world test across a combination of Los Angeles city driving, California highway, and the off-road section I covered in Part 5, the LX700H averaged 19.7 miles per gallon across 1,147 miles, in a full-size luxury SUV. The hybrid system achieves this through a specific operating strategy. At low speeds and light loads, the electric motors drive the vehicle exclusively, with the V6 shut down completely. At highway speeds, the system runs primarily on the V6 with the electric motors assisting during acceleration. During deceleration, regenerative braking recaptures energy that conventional SUVs waste as heat in the brake rotors. The system manages this transition between power sources seamlessly. The driver is never aware of which source is providing propulsion because the transition produces no perceptible change in vehicle behavior. Here is a question that every LX700H buyer should honestly consider, and I am going to give you the most direct answer possible, because this comparison has significant financial implications. The 2026 Toyota Land Cruiser starts at $58,000. The 2026 Lexus LX700H starts at $120,000. They share the same platform, the same basic body structure, the same off-road capability fundamentals, and a significant portion of their mechanical components. The price difference is $62,000. What does that $62,000 buy? The honest answer is more than skeptics suggest and less than Lexus's marketing implies. The LX700H's twin-turbo V6 hybrid system produces 409 combined horsepower versus the Land Cruiser's 409 horsepower twin-turbo V6, identical figures. But the LX delivers them with 31% better fuel economy through the hybrid system. That alone has real long-term financial value. The interior quality difference is genuine and significant. The Land Cruiser's interior is excellent for $58,000. The LX700H's interior, the semi-aniline leather, the Shimomoku wood, the Mark Levinson audio, the Japanese origami stitching, is genuinely in a different category. Not marginally better. Categorically different. The Land Cruiser feels like a premium truck. The LX700H feels like a luxury vehicle that can also go off-road. These are different ownership experiences. The technology gap is the third factor. The LX700H's 12.3-inch touchscreen, the digital cluster, the Mark Levinson 23-speaker audio, the semi-aniline leather, and the available executive rear configuration represent a genuine $40,000 to $45,000 content upgrade over the Land Cruiser's specification. The remaining $17,000 to $22,000 of the price gap is the Lexus Badge Premium, which carries a specific meaning in American luxury circles that the Toyota Badge, for all its quality reputation, does not replicate. $119,995. And the most honest final verdict I can deliver. Because the LX700H deserves complete honesty, rather than the qualified enthusiasm that most Japanese luxury vehicles receive from American automotive media. Against the Range Rover Sport at $90,000. The Range Rover is more comfortable on road, more dynamically capable in sport mode, and carries stronger brand recognition in American luxury markets. The LX700H beats it in off-road capability, fuel economy, long-term reliability projection, and critically, in the ownership cost mathematics that unfold over 5 years of real driving. Against the Mercedes GLS 580 at $100,000. The Mercedes has superior technology integration and a more sophisticated cabin atmosphere for front seat occupants. The LX700H's executive rear configuration, when specified, delivers a superior rear passenger experience for $20,000 less than the GLS 580. And the LX700H's off-road capability makes the GLS 580's all-wheel drive look like a wet weather assist system by comparison. The answer to the question this review has been building toward: does Japan win? Not in every category. The LX700H does not win on brand prestige against Range Rover or Mercedes in the American market. It does not win on interior technology against the BMW X7. It does not win on driving dynamics against the Porsche Cayenne. But Japan wins the categories that matter most over the lifetime of a luxury SUV. It wins on reliability. The Land Cruiser platform has the highest long-term reliability rating of any full-size SUV in Consumer Reports history. It wins on fuel economy. 21 miles per gallon from a vehicle this capable is an engineering achievement no competitor currently matches. It wins on off-road competence. The 75-year platform heritage produces capability that no European manufacturer has yet replicated at any price. And it wins on the specific, quiet confidence of owning something that does not need to announce itself, because it knows exactly what it is. The LX700H is not the most exciting luxury SUV available for $120,000. It is the most complete. For American buyers who drive their vehicles beyond the grocery store and beyond the school run, who take them to Colorado mountains in January or Arizona desert in July, or genuinely challenging terrain on weekends. The LX700H is the correct choice. Not the flashiest, the correct. UC Car Review 2026 Lexus LX700H Hybrid, 9.5 out of 10. Japan's most complete luxury SUV. 75 years in the making, worth every year. Subscribe, because next week we find out if Germany has a